Universe steps out, a dragon's might. Zodiac hums, we fit with pure light.
Crystal storm in a teacup. Feel the surge in your kneecaps. Diverse inspires, let markets merge. Family retires.
Numbers pulse, the moon is lit. Cold coins jolt, free and
From the void, a flame awakens slow. Cosmic strands in a quiet flow. Numbers hum through ethers, weave the verse ignites what souls believe. Stars cast light on wealth's soft call. Truth beats deep within us.
Yo, what? Oh shit, what am I? I'm on by myself? Oh damn. I was like, oh dude, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Nah, I pressed the wrong button. But like I said, don't want to ruin the intro. Welcome back to another awesome live stream. Chaos Chris might have messed it up, but my boy Late Night on Base always brings that energy. Today, we're going to be talking about meme coins. We're going to be talking about altcoins. We're going to be talking about TA on the, not number 2, not number 3, but the number 1 live stream in all of crypto. And we got a special coin that we're going to really get into this first part of the show. It is probably one of the most explosive meme coins. It has the hype. It's got the narrative. It is so unique. And the real question is, will it surpass Shiba Inu? But before we get into that project, Build the Bull, my man, the homie, the legend, and one of my really good friends, crushing on it on base, putting out a newsletter, doing them live streams, putting in the work and getting the views. What is up, my brother, and how we doing today?
Dude, doing well, bro. Getting more gray hairs by the fucking day. Let's go, baby. I'm going for the salt and pepper look. Pretty soon, George Clooney, you got nothing on me. I'm good, man. Another day, man. Another day in the Matrix. I love these shows, dude. Every Wednesday, you know, I love base. Everyone knows that. I do most of my shit on base, but I love talking other chains. There's always opportunities. And I think, obviously, ETH, I really like ETH season, man. I think ETH season and the coin we're going to talk about is on ETH. I feel the trenches on ETH. First of all, I don't like Solana. I feel the trenches on ETH, though, it just gets me giddy because ETH hasn't even broken 3K. Imagine what these type of projects are going to do when ETH gets running, right? So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be here, chat it up. Not in my car today. That's how you know today I'm really interested in this show. So I'm by the microphone.
Listen, when Build the Bull ain't in the car, you know some alpha is about to get spilled in live stream. That's
we talking alpha. We talking alpha. There's a coin on base that just dropped that we'll get into that I think is going to be a banger, and it's very early. So
I love it, man. No, great stuff, man. Like I said, this is a shill live stream, so we'll go through a couple projects. We'll talk about some numerology, astrology. Like I said, this is a layback live stream. We love alpha, so if you got a coin that you personally like, put it down in the comments down below. If you guys want a reading, put your birthday or any questions about numerology and astrology, put it down below. We don't like to do the structure, we like to do the freelance stuff, but also please keep in mind, if you drop an old coin or a meme coin and it's absolute trash, we will roast you on this live stream. We take no prisoners when it comes to this stuff. We have faded so many coins on this. So please bring us your best. But the 2 coins that we're going to highlight today are our big picks for altcoin season coming up. Now, before we talk about this one special coin that I think has potential to be a Shiba Inu play, and it's on Ethereum, Bill, how do you feel about the market right now? World War III, you feel like you're gonna get drafted, go join the infantry? Like, what's your thoughts right now on all this
Well,
stuff?
actually, I'm 40, gonna be 41 soon, so I'm not gonna be drafted, bro. You though, you youngin, just graduating college, you better make it and leave the country because I would not want to be 26 or under in the States. No, all seriousness aside, all this stuff that's going on is just all distraction to me. I'm of the belief, and I've stayed with the belief that the war narrative is here, but everything's following astrological signs. This is following the elites follow astrology to a T. They plan things. Someone doesn't wake up and be like, all right, you know what? I'm going to just attack. We're all on a stage, man. Every one of these government officials are, controlled, whatever. But it's all through astrology. And to me, I think I'm pretty optimistic that we're pretty much at the low. Something's going to happen. Boom, crypto explodes. I think the real terror starts in next year, the year of the horse. Like I said, astrology rules. I think, in snake years, there's the regional conflict as well. That's escalated. I think at some point America, unfortunately, probably gets attacked, gets involved in the war. And I think the real war starts next year. And by then your bags are going to go worthless. So get out of the market in the year of the horse for many reasons. So right now I'm just chilling. I'm waiting for my bags to pump because I think we're going to have a massive pump heading into the blood moon in September.
Love it, man. And I just wanted to brag about Bill for a minute because he actually did call a war this year. I don't know if you guys remember, but this was a couple months ago. But he said, yo, you're the snake. War goes down. Afghanistan, World War II. We gave you examples. Now it's happening. I'm telling you, you do not want to fade this stuff.
Well, and also snake years are terrible for war narratives. Again, World War II, in the snake year before USA got involved in World War II, it was a snake year. The regional conflict was going down in Germany and stuff. But World War II is when Pearl Harbor happened. Obviously, they got involved and they go in the next year. That's when USA's get involved. Same thing is going to happen this year. Right now, the war narrative is strong, but, no one really wants USA to go to war. For whatever you say, it's not a consensus pick, but the only way that they would get involved and get world's approval, unfortunately, is through a false flag, man. I mean, that's how I feel. And false flags do occur. And I think if you don't believe that, you're naive. I think you're absolutely naive and you're falling into the you're falling into the propaganda. So basically a false flag, what people don't realize is that's when you allow an event to happen on your soil, knowing that, yes, there's going to be deaths, but it's for the greater mission of what you want. We can go on and on about that, but that stuff happens. I do believe that if a false flag occurs in America this year, which I hope it doesn't, but if it does, some sort of terrorist attack or some sort of attack from a Middle East country, that's going to get the support for everyone to then say, USA, you can get involved, which would take place next year. I don't want that to be happening, but I can't control that. All I can control is securing lifetime wealth for my family and then get out the matrix. So that's all I'm focused on.
I agree, man. And that's the mission of this live stream, is for not only for you guys to track our journey in the crypto space, but also set yourself up to secure the bag for your family going in the future. So good stuff, man. And last thing before we get to the punch, all I got to say is there's another top signal I will tell you about when it comes to crypto market. If God ever buys a Solana meme coin, I'm out. I'm selling everything.
Done. Goo on Solana, I'm out. It's good to know you. Top signal.
I'm just kidding. Shout out to Goo God. Great dev. One of my really good friends. Awesome shirt. He's always got alpha. Guys, please follow him on X. He's coming. He's spitting it. And dude, shout out to King. If you guys stick around, we will review the King chart. All right. Now, we got to talk about this, Bill, because we've been searching for a meme coin to do a Shiba Inu type run, and I think I found it. I think I found the one that will absolutely explode. As most of you guys know, Pepe killed it right after altcoin season. It was actually one of the biggest meme coins ever. But a new narrative has came across that originated from 4chan that gets into that Pepe. Well, it's not really in the Pepe verse, but it occurred online way back in the day, and it's an older narrative than Pepe. And the name of this project, and I'll share my screen, is gonna be Yi, baby. So Yi is the dinosaur. When I first saw this thing, I was like, holy cow, this thing looks really stupid. And typically when you say that to yourself, you're like, dang, that's probably going to be a great play. But Bill, the one thing that really sold me about this project, and if you're into numerology and astrology, I'm going to bring up the chart, is the launch state of this protocol. when Yi launched, it was about, I think it was like 7 or 8 days after Pepe launched, but it actually launched on April 28th and launched on the 28th. And when you see these types of signs from the Matrix, it's telling you something. And in my opinion, because it launched on the 28th and 28 is the number of wealth, this is one of the main reasons why it resonates so hardcore. It was also launched in the year of the cat. I'm a pig. Pigs and cats are cool. And typically cat coins, base, pulse chain, I do really well under that energy. So that was my big thing. So before we dive into the chart, Bill, talk to me. What do you think about Yi? What do you think about this narrative? And do you think this could be a potential Shiba Inu contender?
Yeah, so let me pull up my chart because I think I've charted this very clean. And this is kind of what I look at. So if you don't mind, let me just put this out. And by the way, if anyone whoever uses Dex tools, I know most of you guys use Dex Screener. These stupid little let me show you.
Share your screen.
Yeah. First of all, if anyone knows how to get rid of these stupid little nitros, please let me know. They're so fucking dumb. I don't even know what they are. What is a nitro?
Probably like a shield boost. You know how you have that little banner that has all the projects up there? I think it's like has something to do with like it being advertised on Dex tools.
I don't know. Well, anyways, I can't. I would like to make this chart cleaner, but I can't do anything. But this is what I'm looking at. First of all, to answer your question, do I think E is going to do massive numbers? Yes, I do. I think there's going to be a big move coming. I don't know how high it's going to go, but the sky's the limit. What I want to show you guys is this. So if you saw this in April, it started forming this like rising wedge, right? Let's see if you guys can see it. Okay, you guys can see this. All right, so it was forming this rising wedge. You know, things were just going down. You had some wicks, and then it broke down. So if it breaks down, that's bearish. At that point, that's super bearish. Most projects kind of retest and then die off. Ye didn't do that. It, got rid of the weekends and then it reclaimed it. I didn't see it at this point, but I know you did, Chris. And this was the sign. The moment it reclaims this, it's a bullish sign. And so from a trading point of view, I really liked it. And then boom, you saw that massive move to like 11 million. So from a TA point of view, what you have to do is then you draw this top line. This top line is basically this blue line that was like the original rising wedge. Actually, let me clean this up a bit.
Yep.
We don't need to see EMAs. Fuck EMAs.
You don't need EMAs.
All right. So this is a little bit better. So obviously this is the top line, this is the bottom line. And the beautiful thing about E is it retested the bottom line perfectly, which is around 2.3, 2.5. I don't know. That to me is so bullish because if you see that turns support resistance into support. And again, double bottom around 2.7, 2.5. Boom. Hell, it might even touch it again. 3 million. Boom. It doesn't matter. As long as this trend is validated, and I feel that there's no reason it won't be, we're about to hit a wave 3. This is the one. This is to do the wave 3 of the macro 3. The next move is coming. And the next move, as long as this area holds, and like I'd be honest with you, if it breaks down to like 1 million, 1.5, it's game over. I will not be interested at all. But I do not see that happening. Must hold area, and I feel it will be. I think this is going to happen. Vahela! I really do. I really do. I don't know how high it's going to go. I do know that this next leg up is going to be explosive. Now, from a non-biased point of view, you need to take profits when this thing goes up because then you're going to have a corrective phase. You don't know if that's the end of the wave 3. You don't know how long wave 4 is going to be. You don't know if that was actually the wave 5. You don't know how it's going to count. But to me, Yi is going to be having an explosive move. The only thing I would say about Yi is it's a kind of a new coin in the sense that it's been since April 25. So, again, I'm not biased. I don't know anything except from what the charts tell me. If you expect it to like go straight to 1 billion, 2 billion and stay there, I think you're mistaken. You need to take profits. It would be a dream scenario though, honestly. This next leg, it goes from like 4 million to like 400 million, 500 million. I don't know. But if you start seeing it at those numbers, you have to take profits because it's a brand new coin. And then some of these longer corrections could take a year. So overall, I'm super bullish on E. I don't think it's going to pull a Shiba Inu and go to 100 billion. Like, that's just silly talk. If anyone thinks that, I'm sorry. You're tripping. But this next leg up, if it could get to 100, 400 million, hell, even a billion, that would be, I mean, that's life-changing wealth right there. So I'm very much in it. I'm very much looking. I will be adding more. If you guys want to dump it some more, go for it. Around 3 million, I'll be buying. But yeah, very bullish on the dinosaur.
Love it, man. No, great analysis. And Bill did a great job of TAing that project. So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I just want to add just a couple things to his analysis. And something that was interesting that I was seeing about Yi. So when we got this, well, I know I removed the trend line, but when I was first looking into this thing, we were down here and I told all the homies about it. And basically we had that deviation that dropped down, and I bought right here at this trend line. And then I bought a little bit when we came down closer to about, I think it was like at like a no, it's $250,000 market cap. I said, screw it. And a lot of people were actually freaking out, shit in the bed right around here. Actually, I knew one person that dumped 2%, his 2% bag right before it ran, and then it popped right back up. And then next, this thing goes off to the races. So I do definitely agree with you. We do have that trend line coming down. There's a potential that we do retest, what's that, 3.5 million, just based off of the current state of the market and the fact that, we have a little bit of a bounce, come back, retest that breakout. But I want to make this crystal clear. When we start to see this thing move and we come up and we test all-time highs, this thing's going to explode like no other. I really do think when this goes into price discovery, the narrative behind Yi isn't going to be just some regular meme coin, dino coin, unique narrative. No, the narrative is, will we flip Pepe? Because Yi and Pepe are enemies, and the goal is to flip Pepe. So that's how I'm kind of looking at this. I don't think we're going to go straight to billions, but multi-millions could be the first wave, and that's just my opinion on the entire situation. So overall, man, I love Yi. Shout out to the Yi Army. You guys chill so hard. I love this crew. I love this coin. If we get to multi-millions, man, I will be your like Murad leader or whatever you want me to do. I'll beat the cult leader, and then I'll nominate Bill to be the co-cult leader. I don't know. I've never been part of cult. Have you been in a cult before?
No.
Okay.
Always a time for a first.
Yeah, man, we'll start a cult, and I don't know. I'll probably get it. I'll read a book about how to start a cult or something. We'll just do it. I'm just kidding.
I love it.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, guys, that is Yi. That's one of my top coins for this meme coin cycle. It's on ETH. Everybody's fading ETH memes. Solana's cooked. We had Pump Fund that got hit. I want to ask you about Pump Fund in a second. So, what I'm seeing this play out is everyone's obsessed with Solana. Solana was like this little hidden trap for liquidity so that these VC funds can get their money. Now the rotation to Ethereum starts, and that's when ETH season starts. Bill, I'm curious to know your thoughts. Pump Fund had their Twitter taken down, and supposedly, allegedly, one of the co-founders was arrested. Do you think this is the end for Pump Fund and all the crazy shit coins launching on Solana?
No, not at all. I think the co-founder, I think he's back. You guys do realize like they extract like 700, 800 million dollars from the system, like nothing. Like they've just printed ridiculous numbers I can't even count. I think Pump Fund, they're trying to really push these live streams too. They have like this whole live stream angle, but as long as there's crypto, one of the best use cases for crypto is degenerate gambling. Pump Fund has solidified themselves as a place where the young crowds can go and gamble their money away. Do I think smart money goes there again? No. Do I think smart builders go on there? No, but it'll have its place for degenerate casinos. As long as the casino's open, people will go. So I think Pump Fund's here to stay. It is what it is. It's something I just do not care about. I don't have any edge whatsoever, and I realize that's not my thing. But I think it's going to lose a lot of mind share once other chains start going. And I think when ETH goes and starts doing its thing and starts seeing like the gains, and it's going to lose mind share. And I think the ETH Sol chart is suggesting as well that ETH is bottoming in Sol. So it's not going anywhere in my opinion, but I don't think it's going to have its run like it did end of last year, early this year, Trump era.
So you're saying that you're not going to launch the Build a Bull influencer coin on Pump Fund, That's what
You
you're
know,
saying.
as hard as I was thinking about it, no, future build of a bull coin, which will never happen, by the way, guys. Nothing I say is financial advice. If you want to be anything about my ecosystem or anything I want to do, you got to buy a Topi, base Topi. Lovable characters on the blockchain where we're creating decentralized lore book. You own a character, you write a story on chain, let the world see. Go to base. No, actually go to Topipedia. No, base Topi, basetopia.io. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Good stuff. Now, before we get into your pick, let's go through some comments. Council LP, shout out to Council LP. If you guys want to learn about liquidity providing or anything on V3 liquidity, join their Telegram. They give out free education behind it. They'll walk you through it, all the good stuff. Those guys are my friends, absolute legends. Shout out to Johnny and shout out to Nathan. Loot burn on Sonic. Yeah, we'll definitely get to the end of that. That thing burnt like 20% of the supply in 2 weeks. It's craziest project. So we'll cover that towards the end. Vivi keeps growing. Asymmetric bet right now. Well, I'll keep an eye on it. Never heard of it. Have you heard of this project?
No. Yeah. Vivi's a close friend of the channel. Shout out to the Vivi community. Shout out to Yoka. Highly. Yoka's an amazing dev. Actually, a real utility providing for Telegram rooms. So shout out to the Vivi community for sure.
Love it. Good stuff. Chris, look at the loot burn chart versus U chart before the massive pump. Same exact Pete's happening. All right, yep, definitely. We'll try to check it out at the end. Shout out to the loot burn community. You guys are awesome. I love Sonic. I love the hyper deflationary. For some reasons, I am so attracted to Sonic because every time I go and investigate like base or ETH or Polchain, I always end up on Solana coins. It's just, I mean Sonic coins, not Solana. Sorry, that little Freudian slip there. Goo God, trust me, you have nothing to worry about. Hyper EVM is my soul. Have you been on Hyper EVM at all by chance?
No, man. I don't. I've heard of it, but I haven't dabbled.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I was there trading shitters. I don't know how the hell I ended up on Hyper EVM. That's when
was it a good experience? Oh yeah, that's when you know you're in the trenches. Is it pretty good there?
Yeah, I mean, the first couple of days it was good. Then it was a Jeet Fest, and then now they have a couple coins coming back. I mean, DJ got me on there. He's like, bro, you should gamble over here. I was just like, dang. I love DJ, by the way. Shout out to DJ, but dang.
Shout out to the DJ. I love him too. He's a homie, and I want him honestly. He puts in so much time and effort. I want him to get like a solid like 100, 200x.
Yeah, absolutely, But that guy is like the king of being a DJ, and like he takes that thing to a whole new level.
For sure. And shout out to his lounge too. He has a lounge out there. If you want like to be a part of a crew that's all they do, you should hit him up.
Awesome. Good stuff. Absolutely. Yeah. And also please check out DJ. Great guy. Degen. I think it's like DJ's Degen Lounge or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Mix psychedelic. I guess that's German for you have reposted the stream. I just want to say thank you so much. Hopefully I said that correctly in English. I don't know German. I can barely speak American. So good stuff. And then Yee, big love. Yeah, shout out to you, man. Yee Army, baby. Let's freaking go. All right, Bill. Listen, you always got some plays. I know you don't mess around with like the low, what would I say, the bottom shelf plays. You always like the high quality plays. You like the things that rip. You go through TA fundamentals.
High upside.
I heard you got to play, and I'm excited to hear about today. So
I do. I look, like I said, when the market's pumping like crazy, my risk tolerance goes up a lot higher. It is what it is. I have my long-term holds that I don't touch. But when I'm in the trenches, I'm a little particular. Sue me. So right now we're kind of in a lull. So I'm very particular on what I get into. First of all, shout out to the Joe Army. I think Joe is about to pull an SPX 6900 run. Current market cap around 40 million. I expect 800 to $1 billion on this next leg up. That would please me. But that's not what I'm about to talk about. Let's talk about the trenches. Let's talk base. So why don't we do that? So, okay, Chris, did you hear about the news about JP Morgan coming on to base and all that stuff?
Yeah, something about them launching a stablecoin on base.
Yeah, so obviously institutional interest is coming on. So JP Morgan, that's big news. JP Morgan is now going to come on to base, and they chose base as a blockchain, not any other. So as you're well aware, what do degens do when there's big news? Degens create the coin. And so I was like, all right, let's keep an eye out for this JP Morgan. And lo and behold, something came up. And let me share it. So the JP Morgan coin on base did come up. Now people were thinking, all right, whatever. But what's interesting to me is this person launched it. Now, if you're in the trenches, you guys probably know Poe. He's a big ETH KOL. I know he's a top signal to many. He just crushed it, right? But he doesn't come on the base often. And so he launched JPMD as a meme, spawned off a tweet from base, tokenized JP Morgan, put it on the blockchain. We're in the infancy stages. I've seen devs with multi-mil projects in the past. Can't even break 200K. No dev, almost forgotten chain. We took JPMD to $1 million. Once this Powell's meeting is over, blah, blah, blah. So here's the tweet again. JP Morgan is bringing banking on chain, blah, blah, blah. So why do I care about this? I'm thinking to myself, all right, if you guys recall, he doesn't come on to base often. The last time he really pushed something on base was Brett in 2024. And again, everything I'm saying is speculation. I don't know. But there were rumors at the time that a lot of the ETH KOLs came to push Brett, and they were supported by base to do that, incentivized to do that, because it drew the interest of degens to come on the chain to pump a bag, which was Brett. And at the time, it worked. Brett went to about 2 billion. So one of the problems base has is they don't really have people outside of base wanting to ape in, and degen culture is number one. So if you were able to attract a KOL and all his friends to come on the base, you might have something. So it is shown that he launched this coin. So two things catch my interest. Number one, it's not going to run because he's publicly saying it. That's his. And I don't think on base he would just say that. So I don't think a dev's just going to fly by night like it's a safe dev. And then I'm thinking, Chris, what if this becomes the coin that brings the trenches to base? So yesterday there was a huge dip here. There's a bunch of FUD that occurred on Dex Tools, Dex Screener. They wouldn't like show it or whatever, and they fixed it. So it was around the dip got to about 180K, and then yesterday it got to about 1 million. And now you just have this little retrace. Currently it's at 600 million or 600K. So I'm thinking if JP Morgan still based on news, plus you have the ability of a safe-ish dev on base that people know that it won't run because they also use Klyza, which is, a different mechanism because he can live off of the fees. I don't know, man. I'm getting good vibes from this one. 620K. I don't know if the market's bad. It just needs to flip this little blue line, which is just a standard fib retrace. If you just take a fib retrace, it hit the 618, bounced, got up to the 0.236, down to the 0.5, and now once it clears that, then you're back up. So my prediction is this is going to be a next runner, and I'm betting on it. I'm betting on JP Morgan, the meme coin on base, 620K market cap. Wish me luck. I want to go to Valhalla with my Maserati.
I love it, man. And just to add to your analysis, one thing that's really sticking out to me on this chart that I'm seeing right now, we are forming on the, I'll say the 15-minute. We are forming a pretty beautiful inverse head and shoulders. So it is in a massive accumulation phase and, short-term accumulation phase. And we could potentially get a pop on this. So in my opinion, if this is something you guys want to speculate, not financial advice, but the entry would actually be right now. And I do see this definitely coming up and having a target breakout at about 1.2 million. And if this becomes the coin that goes crazy, then it could go way higher than that. So yeah, man, I like this play. I think it gets into TradFi coming onto chain, and I think it's also going to really light up base. And I think what's the crazy part about this is no one expected base to be the RWA chain. You ever thought about that? Like it's now the RWA chain.
I never did, but it makes sense because like I said, the chain itself is very well respected. Sometimes it's a little too respected. Like they just focus on builders. So all the smartest minds, all the smartest devs are coming on to base. Again, the backing on Coinbase and all that stuff. So it doesn't really surprise me. But the missing pieces, they need some runners. They need things to just go pop off because the chain is only as good as the community. And I just think base meme season has to come at some point, and they can kickstart it. They have at their disposal to kickstart this thing. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but send it.
Send it. Win Lambo, baby. Yeah, I love it, man. And I liked RWA when I first got into crypto, and that was like the XRP XLM. And then I kind of slowly started to see that fade down a little bit. And then you saw things like Base come on board. Then you have like the Plum Network, PLUME. They're getting into RWAs. But what really surprised me is when I go on Base, they got the games. They even have like a hyper liquid fork. Well, not fork, but it's like a similar exchange to Hyperliquid built on top of Base. And then now you got like JP Morgan, all these big guys committing to it. So I commend you because you position yourself at the right place at the right time, because when Base goes crazy, so will the at light night on Base on X account. So guys, please follow my boy because he's the next one coming up on that chain. Love it. So
Yeah, and also gotta plug me on this one. If you guys don't know what's going on Base and you want to, I got you. You know why I got you? Let me show you something. Real quick. We, and by we I mean me, have created a newsletter, daily newsletter, that's going to highlight the latest on Base. What is it called? I'll show it to you right now. It is called Based AF. Let me share it with you. Hold on. StreamYard, please help StreamYard. Okay. Bad timing. Okay. Based AF, your daily Degen hit 2 minutes every day straight to your mailbox. Just subscribe, bros, because the space moves fast. And honestly, what I'm going to be doing is getting all the news for the day on Base, put it into your mailbox, and I'll be talking about the latest moves. Today's edition, I did have JPMD on there. There will always be a meme of the day because I will always highlight what I think is interesting. So yeah, come subscribe, learn, laugh, and you'll see all our shows. Actually, also, Chris, today on today's letter, I put, where's Bill today? Live today on the next layer with the verse. We're diving into the next 100X.
That's what's up, man.
So, yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Love it, man. Well, hey, guys, please subscribe to that newsletter. I'm going to drop it down in the chat below. I'll put it on YouTube, guys. That's the place to get the alpha. And we might be posting some hidden alpha on there in the future that we won't talk about on X or live stream. So, all the more reason to look at it, because we place gems in the places that people are least likely to look, because we want the loyals to win, not the haters, not the 50-50 back and forth people. We want the loyal followers to win, and we get creative with these types of ideas. So good stuff, my man. All right. Now we went through, talked about your pick, talked about my pick. And I think I just want to talk about one other project that's been absolutely crushing it. Have I talked to you about TFC at all?
Briefly. I don't know much about it. Show me.
So we actually had the founder of this project come on. Nicest guy ever. He comes on and says, hey, I bought Hex way back in the day. I decided to launch this project, and I want to design it to be a store of value and to absolutely crush it in this market. And he has it back behind a company called the Fitzgerald Company. Okay. Now, what's really interesting about this protocol was right during that PewDiePie FUD event. You remember when Pulse was just like completely toxic and we just hated it. He launched it right down there, and him and a couple other people bought up over 95% of the supply, and it's being held up in, I think it was the top 5 or 7 wallets, and they're holding it steady. And then they started shilling this thing to the point where the chart looks like a literal hockey stick. This thing has been absolutely crushing it. And if the price of this token goes up to, right now it's at 0.007859, if it goes to 54 cents, it did not only just do 100x, it didn't do 1,000x, it did a 10,000x.
Wow.
On Pulse Chain. So in my opinion, I know the founder, nicest guy ever, lives out in Arizona. You got a company actually backing behind this. This is one of my top picks on Pulse Chain coming up during altcoin season. Bill the Bull, any thoughts on TFC?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the chart looks phenomenal. Like I said, I just look at charts. I don't know anything about it. I mean, that level, the 0.007 kind of level needs to hold. If it doesn't, you're going to see downside. I don't like the couple wicks, the latest wicks that have occurred, to be honest. But if you're already in it, man, you just chill and see what happens. I think it's good. See, the problem with me though is Pulse Chain and everyone I did a live stream with Crypto Coffee actually last week, I think, or the week before, I don't remember. And when ETH season gets going, Pulse season gets going, it'll be fun, and plays like this will do really well. Right now, though, I'm kind of avoiding Pulse Chain because it's just a circle jerk of the same people like playing around. You have no new money coming in. It's just PvP to the highest degree. And so, I'm looking for, and like, no shade on this. I think this will be good, but like, for me to enter back into Pulse Chain, I have to feel like a narrative that's going to attract other people that are not just on Pulse Chain. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
what does this have to offer that like someone on base? What would cause a guy on base to come and be like, oh man, I got 8 TFC? I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense to me. But like, obviously, like the UFOs and the PTGCs, like I get those. Those are different. So I don't know if I see the narrative of this one. And then you're hoping that, the dev doesn't like start selling and clipping. I mean, everyone's honest until, they see some numbers. Not saying he isn't, but so yeah, man. I mean, I'm not touching it, but I think I want to see a lot of these type of plays on Pulse, and I'm looking forward to Pulse season because it's fun. And hopefully it happens sooner than later because Pulse needs to start capitalizing on the momentum. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. And when it comes to Pulse Chain, big fan of King, big fan of TFC, and just like projects I know the dev, it can get very sketchy on that chain. And then right now, what's going on is a lot of people are leaving, and I don't want to mention any names because I don't want to be rude or whatnot. Unless they mention me on Twitter, then I'll go at it with them. But long story short, there's a massive washout, and then like you said, it's massive circle jerk. So
yeah,
to be honest with you, when Pulse starts running, then that'll be like the time to go over there and look. But I just periodically scan it and then just move on, because what I'm seeing right now when it comes to chains that are doing great, I'm seeing Base is doing phenomenal. I'm seeing Sonic is doing phenomenal. And then I hate to say this, but Hyper EVM is actually really interesting. And I know it's kind of like Solana a little bit, but I always catch myself going on there as well. So I'm all over the place, but those are like my main 3 things. And then lastly, well, I gotta say 4, Ethereum. Ethereum is king. That's where the memes are running. Things are exploding. We found Yi. We're finding more gems as much as possible. And sooner or later, you're going to see ETH pop off. So the question I have for Pulse Chain is, when do we get to a point where we see Pulse bottom out, everybody just chills the fuck out, and then we start going upwards, we get some community unity type of stuff, and we start getting this thing going? Because I'm not seeing it right now, and it just sucks because we've been on there for like how many years, man? Would you say like 3 years? 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years, and then now it's just like absolute shit show. So not trying to bring up any negative stuff. I just pointing out the problem. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah. So cool, man. Well, you got any other plays you're looking at?
No, I mean, like I said, I there's a bunch of other plays on Pulse Chain. I mean, base that I like. Shout out to VV, shout out to Bober, all those. But right now, you just I'm in wait and see mode. The market dictates everything. Base. I think some of the major caps on base, like I think, for instance, Ski Mask Dog is extremely undervalued. All these things are taking a hit. So there's time to be risk on, but there's a time to be kind of like risk off. And so I'm kind of risk off right now, just kind of seeing what it is. But I think the moment, all this war stuff fuds up and clears up, I think you need to have money on chain, on base, ready in position, because the market's just going to explode. And, there's something for everybody. There's the bigger caps, there's the lower caps. For instance, let me just show you this one real quick, Chris. And I think no doubt that Ski Mask, I mean, this is just a steal at these levels, in my opinion. I look at these things and I'm just like, wow, this is a really beautiful chart. These are with straight market makers. This is like Congress people bought it. Like, I don't think of a better chart than this. Like, I just think Ski Mask looks so good. Like clear 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna have the final move up. I think base is gonna have 1 month of just, we've been waiting for it, but 1 month where everything just explodes and then you need to sell. So pick something. I mean, look at this RSI. This is on the 3-day. It's completely bottomed out. this is so bullish. Like here, this is a 1, 2. You're gonna have a 3 that takes it past this. There's no resistance. So position yourself. Mine is ready. My bags are ready. You need to position yourself now when the RSI is down and hasn't ran, instead of when it's like mass euphoria. Like I truly believe ski can go from 40 to a billion, and with size, that's a lot. You know, people kill for that. So there's
And
a lot of
also,
projects like that.
go ahead. Oh yeah, sorry. And the other thing I also want to add is, from my understanding, the Coinbase app, you can actually swap into base tokens through the app pretty soon.
Yeah,
So like tokens
exactly.
like this will be accessible without it having an actual Coinbase listing, if that makes sense.
Exactly. So now everything's gonna be listed, right? So that's good and bad. I mean, ease of on ramp. You don't need to have a Coinbase listing. I mean, the bad side is like you're not gonna get the attention like Toshi did, but it makes the barrier to entry low. So I mean, position yourself in something that and believe. I believe in the base ecosystem. I believe memes are gonna pop off hardcore. Just gotta wait and see. But other than that, man, not much else. And wait for the ETH trenches, and obviously, make sure you got a bag of yee.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love you. I love the ETH trenches. All right. I want to show one more coin, and then
Okay.
we'll talk about some numerology, astrology, and get this thing wrapped up. But since we need to talk about a little bit about some base, there's actually one coin that emoji I still love. I still think it has the potential to go to billions, and I'm still backing up the truck on. I gotta give a quick shout out to my boy, the legendary Miggles, the cat.
Amigos.
I love this coin, dude. This coin was absolutely crazy. So the reason why I bring this up right now was because we did recently have a dead cat bounce. We'll get the MACD real quick. So we definitely had a dead cat bounce. We retested. I think this was like a 1-year trend line. Came back down. Now we're retesting that all-time low. One thing I will say is I do not want to see it go lower than 0.021. Otherwise, it will be a no-go. But on the MACD, what I'm starting to see is we're getting close to another bullish cross. And then on the RSI, we're coming back low. The RSI is staying low. If we can form another higher low and bounce off of that, there's a good chance that's going to be the bottom of Miggles. So like I said, I love Miggles. I'm still in this coin, and I'm definitely think this is going to be a great meme coin going on to altcoin season. Bill Bull, any thoughts on Miggles?
You know, I'm no longer in Miggles. I hope it does well. I think if like Ski does the numbers it does, then you know things like Miggles will go up. I think the chart is okay. I think, like I said, the best chart right now is Ski. That's why I positioned all in Ski. There's a lot of resistance up here, so you're gonna. I mean, not saying you can't. You could create double bottom and then boom. But I think if it does go in booms, you should probably start selling because I feel it's hard to get through all that resistance. The moment it broke down that yellow 45-degree trend line, that like to me that was massively bearish. And look, it got retested and it broke down again, which is why Yi was so cool because it had that same thing, but it didn't. It broke through, right? So the deviation. So to me, this is not a bullish chart whatsoever. And I'm just going to be completely real with you that this is like a year trend line that it broke and it hasn't reclaimed. So, you know, objectively speaking, I wouldn't touch Miggles until it reclaims that trend line again. And it probably will because this is crypto and everything will go up. But like, there's a lot of, you know, possibilities that it doesn't, or people will sell back at the yellow line. I don't know. So yeah, that's what you'd have to look for. If it goes back in, then it's a play. Then you use that yellow line as now resistance as like a clear invalidation level. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I hope it goes to like 300 million because if so, that means like Ski just went to like 4 bill, and definitely going to be partying at that point. Don't tell my wife.
Yeah, well, at that point, we'll probably be checked out of life. Like
probably. I'll just
like
be smoking a cigar while I do my newsletter and probably cut back on and just have like topies in the background and just write stories.
I'm telling you, if Yi goes to like 10 billion, I'll probably just like one day just disappear. I'll probably be either on a yacht or be partying. I don't know. I'll be doing something crazy. That's all I gotta say. So cool, man. Well, hey, we actually got a great question, and we can go into our numerology astrology segment. And also, guys, please keep in mind that that's not financial advice. Those are all just plays that we like to talk about throughout the live stream. Now, coming over to the numerology astrology segment, I had a great question. Josh asked, Hex is dead? Question mark. I wouldn't say it's dead, but this is a great numerology learning experience. Bill the Bull. When was Hex launched? The original OG Hex on ETH?
Honestly, I don't even know. Was it 2018?
2019, December 2nd, 2019, in the year the pig. We are in the year the snake. The OG Hex on Ethereum is in its enemy energy right now.
Ooh.
I don't think Hex on Ethereum is going to do as well as most people think it will. The Hex on Pulse Chain, I think that's going to do better, just my opinion. So just keep in mind, when I look at these dates, it's never like a slam dunk. It's just hints from the matrix, in my opinion. Like, for example, when I saw Yi on launched on the 28th, what that tells me is there's potential for this to be explosive, and it was correct. That's not always the case for every single coin, but it's just like a percentage game. So based off of that, I wouldn't bet on Hex on ETH to do the job for you this market. I think there's going to be better plays. I do think that could potentially have a massive pump going into the year of the horse when we start to see altcoins rip and then absolutely crash sometime in the middle of it. That's just my opinions. Buildable, any thoughts on this question?
No, I think that's a good question. I think it's not going to be a good year for Hex because it's in its enemy year. And also, man, it's a cycle 2 coin, man. You're going to have a lot of resistance. You don't want to have resistance, man. That's why it's always good to be in cycle 1 coins, less people overhead to sell. So, and there's people underwater that's been underwater for a long time. So you don't think that they're going to, like, the moment they get a chance to sell, they won't, they will. So Godspeed, Hex holders.
Godspeed, baby. So we'll see what happens, man. But yeah, good stuff. So yeah, man. So numerology astrology. I love this part. I love talking about numbers, man, with you because you are a 33. So some big numerology astrology events coming up. We got the summer solstice on Friday, and then we got another blood moon buildable on September 17th to the 18th. No, excuse me. I'm sorry, 7th to the 8th. Just pull it back.
Yeah.
Up. September 7th to the 8th. So I'm curious to know your thoughts, and I'll give you my thoughts. But we got summer solstice this Friday. Do you think there's going to be any crazy events? And what are your predictions going into the blood moon in September?
Yeah, well, as far as solstice goes, I don't really follow that too much, so I wouldn't be able to give you like a very articulate answer. So I don't want to comment on that because I don't really know much, but the blood moon I do. And I am of the belief and hope that there's a massive pump at some point up until September. Maybe it's July to like early August. I don't know. But I do feel there's a pump and a massive pump. And if the way I look at it is if we get an explosive pump, like, whoo, check your portfolio every day. It's like 3xing, 4xing. I am going to sell so much and just chill because at some point with this blood moon, I don't want to mess with it. I am of the belief it's bad. I mean, theoretically, I guess it could be bad for the regular market, but good for crypto. But it hasn't ever been that way. So yeah, man, I think that could be the time when an event happens in America. If you look at what happened in Israel with their 2023, it was around like October. 9/11 was around September of 2001. So it's like that time frame. If that happens, crypto tanks as well, in my opinion. And then, so if that happens, and then there's another blood moon in March, and like I said, March blood moon to me is going to be the most crazy one ever. So in an ideal world, this is how I view it, and I hope it happens. Pump up until like August, start selling whatever. Market takes a massive hit like it did in April time frame, and then you have one like last rally, but I think it's going to be a dead count bounce where everything tops by March, and then it's literally game over for crypto for years. That's what I'm thinking. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. It's like what you just said was scenario 1. That's a scenario 1 for crypto. And then you have a scenario 2. So you got 2 scenarios. The second scenario is we say flatline, trade sideways until September, followed by a massive drop, and everybody thinks this market's over. It's it. That's it. Interest rates pivot. We start printing, and we see crypto pump all the way into the year of the horse, top out like the first couple weeks of the year of the horse. Then something crazy happens. We have an exchange. Maybe some blockchain gets compromised. I don't know. Something insane happens in the crypto sphere, and it just dies off and it shocks everybody. So those are your two options. And the one thing I would suggest, if we start to get a pump and we get Bitcoin at 130K before that blood moon, I agree with Bill. Start taking profit. Start getting out of the market. Don't risk it for the biscuit. If we're flatline until September 9th, when I say flatline, trading around 100K to 110K, going up and down, up and down, up and down, I would get some ammo on the sideline for that blood moon event, buy in, then we get that pop, and then as we get closer to the year of the horse, I would start selling. I would not be holding your entire bags in the year of the horse. I would only leave maybe like 20 or 30% in the market just in case something crazy pops off and it keeps going. I would only keep 20, 30% in.
Yeah, 20%, bro. I'll be at 2%.
2%. There you go. 2% if you want to be safe. I'm more of a risk it for the biscuit type of guy, and I'm slightly autistic, and everybody knows that. So that's how I roll. So, but yeah, I or 2%. I think that might be a little bit more safe. But like I said, guys, those are your two scenarios. I think both of them are on the table, and it's up to you to read the market and adjust accordingly. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Well, cool. Well, I guess that's all we got for today, man. I think it was a great live stream.
Yeah.
Some points, talk about numerology, astrology. Is there anything else you want to talk about or discuss today?
No, man. I think that's it. I think let's see what the market has in store. XRP to $10. I would like that too. I've started accumulating that XRP. Number go up, baby. Number go up. Let's go 9, 10. That'd be sick. Let's send E to like 100 mil. Let's just see, man. I think everyone's saying, a lot of people, smart people that I follow, think Bitcoin goes to 145 and July is the month everything happens. And I hope so, because I don't want to get more gray hairs, to be honest.
Yeah, man, this market definitely did take life out of a lot of people, and it's gonna be great when this is all said and done. We get a year just to chill and then come back and buy the bottom, because I guarantee you, me and Bill will be there a couple years after to buy the bottom, and we'll be telling you guys what's up. Yes. So like I said, all right, guys, well, hey, do me a favor, please follow the #1 live streamer on Base at Late Night on Base. Check out his newsletters, check out the Topies, hottest NFT collection. And if you like meme coins, if you like altcoins, and you're slightly autistic, follow me at TheVerse369. Until then, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Run from the void, a flame awakens slow, cosmic strands in a quiet flow. Numbers hum through ethers, weave the verse ignites what souls believe. Stars cast light